Hello and welcome to this short video where I will be showcasing how both Data 360 and Tableau Next will create an intelligent experience to your sales reps without moving any of your enterprise data and by making or generating real-time contextual and actionable insights. So let's see how that works. Now, before I drill down onto the demo, bit of a disclaimer. This use case is more towards, or it's more around the casino business, so just keep that in mind. But also be aware that the data presented in this demo is completely and entirely fictional and has been created solely for the demonstration purposes. So it does not reflect any real individuals. It does not reflect any companies or any actual business performances. So with that, let's go and jump onto the demo. So let me start off, and the way that I wanted to create this sort of intelligent experience is just imagine if you're a BD and on the fly, when something happens, you get an automatic nudge. And as you can see here, I'm on my mobile, and quickly I can see that there is an active players alert. And by clicking onto my alert, it automatically takes me to my Salesforce application. And I can quickly see here the data alert, right? So I can go and see what's happening around my active players. And if I wanted to, I can simply click on Ask Follow-up question, and automatically it has my agent force connecting to my semantic layer, pulling all the information that is coming from my CRM data, as well as transactional data that could be sitting on a Snowflake or BigQuery or anywhere else without having to move that data. And this is the key. And as you can see here on the mobile, straight away Agent Force will respond and give me complete information about what's happening with the active players. And of course, if I wanted to, I can check the source. So this is going to like to give me a quick view on or more around the trust of this application. But of course, if I go onto my desktop, it's still the same sort of experience. And as you can see here on the top right corner, this is how you can get that automatic nudge onto your desktop in this scenario, just like I showed you earlier on the mobile. Now, let's say if I'm a BD or if I'm a sales rep and I'm logging into my sales console, I can, of course, have all these sort of cool insights and visuals available real time. Everything that you see here is real time, so I can go and update a filter. So let's say I want to look at all my current year data, and on the fly, all that information will be populated with all the relevant metrics, as well as all the insights that are generated for me automatically. And remember, and I'm going to keep on hammering on this data doesn't have to be moved. I can have it through zero copy, flowing through my semantic model and powering those sort of insights. But now if I'm a BD and I go and say, well, I don't know where to start. Maybe the first thing that I want to start on is I click on one of those active players, right? Now on the fly, as I drill down onto this metric, of course, I have all the relevant insights. I can view it by different dimensions that I have. And if I wanted to, I can actually take an action automatically onto the record. So that could take me to the contact or account in my organization. But I don't want to do that. I have a lot of questions, and I have a lot of questions, and I want to converse with my agent. So I'm going to open up my agent force in here, and I'm going to start off by saying, can you tell me which player has lost more money in the last month? Now just think of it that way. If I'm a BD or if I'm a sales rep in this scenario, and I'm looking across my territory, for instance, I want to be able to understand who should I prioritize. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I want to understand, hey, in this month, who's one of the players that are, that lost a lot of money. Now, what you notice here, Agent Force is very smart that it automatically goes and say, I'm happy to help you out to figure out which player lost the most money, but I need your help. I need to understand, how do you want me to do that? And this is called clarify intent. This agent in here has all the context for me to converse, and it's not going to just give me any random question random answer to my question. It's going to ensure that it's responding to the right question and giving me the right answer for that question. So let's go ahead and say, can you look at my daily worth weekly change percentage? That's how I define if a player has lost more money or not. And remember, this is all conversational, right? So the data is already flowing from multiple sources through zero copy. I've got my semantic layer. Semantic layer is where I go and define all these sort of relationships, all the context, and on the fly, as I'm conversing with my customer, with my agent, on the fly here, the agent goes and say, well, that's your snapshot. You've got around 3,000 players that are managed by you. These are your high performers and these are your low performers, for me to be able to go and analyze. So I can see Grace Valdez has a negative 35%. And of course, you can see here all the charts are available on the fly. It's built for me on the fly. And if I wanted to expand the sources, it will show me that it's coming from my semantic model, which is Player 360, and the logic behind that query. So let me just do one more question, and let's go and say I want to focus on Grace Valdez. So I'm going to go and say, can you analyze Grace Valdez profile? So what I'm trying not to do in here is, initially when I logged into my sales console or when I got the nudge and I drilled down onto it, I don't know where to start. So we started with these sort of conversations to identify that the priority account or the priority contact in this scenario. And now, as I've identified this contact, I want to understand a little bit more about him. So I want to have a complete 360 view. And this is exactly what I've got in here. So I can go and see, this is my complete profile on my player, Grace Valdez. There's two card types with two recommendations. So either we can reach out to her on the evening, and if we do so on the evening, we can do that through email or via email, or we can reach out to her late night. And if so, what the model is predicting in here is we need to go and offer her a 200 spa voucher via email, and that's how we can engage with this customer. Now, just a quick aspect as well. It's not just about the conversational, but also I have the ability to automatically create these sort of insights in my dashboards, right? So it's more than just a dashboard. So for instance, if I click on accounts needing my attention, you'll see here it has through the semantic layer, we can define these sort of logic to go and say, these are the ones that need my attention. And I can go and classify it or cluster it by segment, for example. I've identified the list of players that needs my attention. And right from within here, also I can take an action. And again, this is something that is really great value, where the power of the Data 360 and the Tableau Next can automatically generate these sort of insights and allow me to go and take an action. In this scenario, I'm taking that list and I'm going to go and assign it to a priority list, for example, and click on reassign work. And this is how we can automate the flow. Now, of course, if you wanted to as well, I can have the ability to look at white space, for instances, right? So I can have, leveraging my Einstein and leveraging Data 360, leveraging my Einstein predictive AI, I can build a propensity model to go and see which of these players have a high propensity to play today, for instance, right? And again, as I select a individual player, I can straight away take an action on the fly, but I can also have a complete Play 360 in here to understand when should I go and reach out to him, what's the best offer, and some sort of a player performance, similar to what I showed you within the agent force. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video.